Greetings and welcome to Premier 7. I am your host, Ryan Nelson. Um, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful time. I think I am having a good day. I was supposed to go to the football ground, but I was told that the Corner League will be commencing today. So, all of those footballing skills and tricks that I had up my sleeve, unfortunately, I am not able to execute. So, as a content creator, as a Jamaican fan of the Reggae Boyz team, I have to come on board and present to you, the fans, a very important video because guess what? We need answers from the Jamaica Football Federation. We need to see what the next step is for the Jamaica men's national team. Without no doubt, without no apology, the topic of importance is about what is Jamaica plan for World Cup qualifiers 2025 round 3, because it's already July now, people, and there's still no clarity. Like when you're in a class and you know your teacher asks a question and no one answers, what would the teacher say? All right, since no one is answering, let's move on. And that is totally what is happening with Jamaica football. Because I think then that if we're not going to hear anything from the Jamaica Football Federation, then it looks as if then the focus is not the World Cup. Do you agree or do you disagree? And this is dangerous for the Jamaica fan base, and especially for those persons who wants to play for Jamaica and for the national program on a whole. So, as you can see, people, Premier 7 is here to talk about several points of importance from this topic. I am going to talk about the news that was being published in the Observer about the coaching license. Where are the squad updates? A little bit of transfer updates. The danger of silence, I gave you a small synopsis of what it means in a sense of talking about the classroom. And then I will just conclude. I am not a huge fan of doing live streams, but I mean, sometimes you have to do the uncomfortable to be better. And because I have fans, because I'm a Jamaican voice as well, the voice of the people or for the people, I don't think in these times I want for the space to be silent. The only way I wish is for the space to be silent is when we know that Jamaica football is going somewhere, is that when the JFF comes out and let us know what is taking place. But as long as there's no news, then I think that we need to have a talk, have a discussion, and see how well we can get the JFF doing some work. The thing is, for me personally, I am an independent voice. However, I am a fair person. I try to assess things in the best way possible, and also not to act as if I am a know-it-all, because being a know-it-all means that you don't stand to be corrected, and that is not who or what Premier 7 is about. So, before I talk about the first point, people, Premier 7 is on the road to achieve 3,000 subscribers. So please subscribe today and stay tuned for more news on the Jamaica men's national team, because the more you support Premier 7, the more the channel will grow and the more I will be motivated to present to you, the fans of the national team. Or let's say for those who want to know more about Jamaica football, Premier 7 as one of these content creators is willing to execute and to do the good works. So people, the first thing on the list is the news on the JFF coaching license. Did you guys read or have read what was recorded in the Observer? Because if it is a coaching license that says C, then based on my understanding or my glimpse of what was written, then it seems as if this will focus not mainly on the senior team. But let me just, get myself in that mindset again to show you what is on screen, because this is a concern for Jamaica, not with the coaching license, but a concern in the sense that should this be our main focus at the moment? Should the coaching license be the main focus? I have no problem with anyone. I have no problem with those persons who are trying to elevate themselves. But within this particular space in time, is it the best thing to hear about any coaching license? All right. So, I mean, with no further ado, let me just talk about the news being shared here, because the fans needs to know what is taking place. So JFF gains C license or C level for correction membership in CONCACAF coaching convention. So basically, we never had that um license, I would say then, from the CONCACAF before. And if we do, you can correct me, but I am working from the statements seen. All right? I am working from the statements seen. So it is showing us here then that the news for sure was written on the 27th of June. So it was a few days ago. This thing is giving trouble, you know. The document shared is giving some trouble, but not to worry, people. I am going to read what is there. So nothing cannot stop us from presenting for the fans. We just find a way to do the right thing. So, CONCACAF, the region's football governing body, has approved the Jamaica Football Federation (JFF) as a C licensed member of its coaching convention. So obviously we were not a part of it in the past. So the announcement was made during the relaunch of the JFF's coaching education program on Thursday. Wasn't that the time when Diego Jota, lost his life as well? My condolences to him and his family. But we have to move on, right? So the JFF Technical Committee Chairman Rudolph Speed describes this achievement and the relaunch of the program as one of the Federation's most important initiatives. So he said that at the heart of player development at every level in the coach, Speed said, better coaches makes better players makes better teams make better leagues make better national teams. It is a fact. Everyone knows that this is a fact. But before I even talk more about what the article states, I'm just taking it step by step. Better coach gains better players improves teams, whatever. Based on levels, the team will improve, right? This is a long-term plan. That statement by Rudolph Speed is a long-term plan. And is it all about helping the national team to grow? No, absolutely not. And I don't have any issue with such uplifting news, but now is the time that we should focus on how to uplift the national program. It has to start from someone. If you're going to bring in place C license at the lowest ranked part of the structure for the Jamaica football system, starting at the youth, then what they will learn at that stage will it transition into the higher level, which should not be the case. It should start from the top. Some of our coaches getting that A license or whatever license it may be, and coming down the rankings. That is how it should go. So we're taking a low, an underground approach going up, because I am certain that he mentioned um helping to build a national team. So if these persons are helping to build a national team, what is the aim of achieving something good at the highest level? We cannot say then, if you're in your house, can your child lead you as a parent? Absolutely not. It should be the parent's job to lead the child and to grow them. Right? So, I mean, this is not the right time for Jamaica to be hearing these news. I have nothing against coaches. I have nothing against persons who wishes to, you know, to learn or to improve their basic knowledge about football or coaching, but it is just not the right time. And people, what do you think about that? Because for me, even though I'm not disgruntled, I am not in the best frame of mind to even think about this, right? So of course, um the program has been restructured, and the JFF says more emphasis will be placed on improving how coaches train, monitor, and support from the grassroots level. I was watching a show before, I think it was Cranky's Live, and he was talking about physical education in school. So, knowing that physical education is one of the key things in school for students, the teachers, they just teach you how to be fit. However, maybe these coaches who receive their license can go into these schools and somewhat improve the system for schoolers. I think the aim of this plan by Rudolph Speed is to help, of course, develop players and to get them sold to clubs overseas, which is not a bad idea. Money coming in, right? But I think the main aim for these people should be the senior team. Should be the senior team. People, it is really and truly not the best time to even think about what they're doing. But at least something is coming out to the public that we can be notified about. So also, Jamaica will now operate under a unified international recognized coaching framework, Speed said. This means that all licensed coaches will now fall under a structured pathway, quality assurance, mandatory assessments, and increased opportunities for professional careers. All right, fair enough, fair enough. So, I mean, it is for the coaches then to at least start from somewhere and then pivot into something bigger. All right, Speed says that the JFF securing the C license, he was told that the body is now preparing an application for B status. All right, so the JFF also plans to offer pro license as of next year in partnership with CONCACAF and its European counterpart, UEFA. This allows coaches to work professionally and at the highest level. All right, so before I close from this chapter, here it says these courses will consist of practical and theory based lesson plans, and all licenses obtained will be valid for 3 years. Renewal of these licenses will require a mandate 15 hours of field work called continuous professional development. During the 3 year period, however, coaches can bypass the 15 hours requirement if they choose to attain higher license instead. So I think that is straightforward, people. I think that is straightforward. So in everything, there's a good and there's a bad, right? So it is a long-term focus plan. It provides Jamaica with that foundation to be aware of what they require to do. So instead of trying to get coaches from overseas to come and coach a national team, along the way, when our locals receive their higher level of education based on their license, then they will be given that opportunity to work overseas for different programs, for different clubs, and become a national coach. People, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section because I am seeing the vision. Are you seeing the vision? But certainly, I wish that we were thinking more towards the senior team because it is nitty gritty time, you know. It's like the national team may not be the main priority for some persons, so they are focusing on what they think is best for them. Well, so far I get a comment. I think this was earlier on from Business Knowledge from Jamaica, stating Premier 7, let's go. Much appreciation. I think the super chats are there for persons to send. I looked on the YouTube lives before I even came on board to do mine today. In the comment section, I saw that there's a possibility for super chats to be sent. I'm not sure how that goes here because we're still living in Jamaica. But nothing said, nothing done. People, I just wish to hear what you guys have to say. Support the channel, subscribe. That would do a lot. That would do a lot. So, people, I'm waiting for you guys to comment. I'm waiting for you guys to at least say something because I have 16 persons here watching the live, but no one is commenting. All right, so silence means content. Right, so let me just move on into the next part of the video. Seeing that persons are more so in the groove of listening. Maybe some of you guys are still having your Sunday dinner. I had mine, it was good. Or some of you guys may not have Sunday dinner as yet, or if not, well, you guys may have it, but you're just digesting and listening to Premier 7 present on the national team. All right, so where are the squad updates? Transfers of players. Some of our players were being transferred to the championship. Demarai Gray, Mothers Hill, Amarai Bell. It looks good, seeing that our players are getting themselves more into football in teams that they more so will get regular game time, and also to help them become more active and prepared to represent Jamaica when it comes on to the third round of the World Cup. We understand that we're going to play against Curacao Trinidad, and another team, but will these players be active enough to play? Will they be active enough to play? Because it's a good look, but I mean, I am impressed that our players are going to represent different clubs. I mean, the championship is the next step away from the Premier League, which is the best league to me. Not to say the best clubs are in it, but it is the best league in terms of competitiveness, right? Promotion is something that happens in the championship, so you never know what will happen. Luton Town at a point in time was in the Premier League, right? But they were relegated at that time. Amarabel was in the team. He's now playing or going to play for Charlton. So Charlton Athletics have a next Jamaican player in it. I mean, Corey Anderson is there. Our speedster and specialist youngster in Akaim Dixon. Amarabel joining up. It is a blessing. Now, big up to BM. He said, big up Premier. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, BM. I mean, as I've said earlier out, the space is a bit empty right now. Nothing is being said by others. So, it's a time for which I think that silence is not the best thing to work with, because on a whole, that is what the JFF may need. The silence of the fans. The silence of the fans would then mean for them, okay, them don't talk, so we're going to do what we want to do. Well, Premier 7 is here to talk about the football. Because JFF, as long as you guys are making us know what is taking place, then certainly, we will support you. All right? I did a video in the past saying that Manchester United reminds me, or Jamaica reminds me of Manchester United on and off the pitch. I don't need to explain anything because it is just obvious to note. All right? So, back to what I was saying. In regards to the updates, I talk about Amara Bell. Mothersville is in the championship as well. Hopefully get enough games. Not to say that when he came and to represent Jamaica, he really get a chance. I think he played a few minutes in one of those competitions, if I'm correct. But more game time means that we can see more of him. And then we decide if he will be in the best shape for the World Cup qualifiers in September. But people, I would love to see Ravel Morrison get a move to one of these clubs. Maybe they don't want him because he was there in those leagues before. I saw a picture of him on Instagram, in the MLS era. So maybe he's going to get a move to an MLS team. Remember, Coach McLaren stated that Ravel Morrison needs to find himself a club. Ravel Morrison, please, man. Get yourself a club. You're a big man in a game, man. So I think in that case, when you find yourself a club, then it will be easier for us to then back you even more. Because getting a club, coach, and his staff shouldn't have to scout you or to watch you in those various games and then make the rightful decision to give you that chance to play for the national team. Am I right, people? All right. So Ronnie M90 states Ravel has a bad reputation. Well, I need some clarity on that. Premier 7 love to have discussion with people. I'm not a one-sided person. I will never say what you're saying is not what I want to agree with. Because at the end of the day, everyone have their right to say what they have to say. But we're a team here. One talk, somebody else talk, and then I will see how well I can assess what you're saying and make things make more sense. I mean, Ronnie, remember Ravel Marsa played for us in the latest games, Not all, of course, not in the Gold Cup, for which Jamaica was horrible, terrible, running belly business that. But he provided that glimpse of brilliance. No, not that glimpse of brilliance, but he was different from the players on the pitch. Dropping into the midfield, collecting the ball, making the game look simple with simple passes, finding space. For me, Ravel Martin is still the best one-touch player in the national camp. Do you disagree? His reputation is bad, but the reputation of Jamaica Football Federation is even worse than Ravel Morrison. I don't think their ambition is ambitious enough. And I always say, or when I talk about it recently, if we're gonna get in a new players, we are craving for Mason Greenwood, but Jamaica isn't pulling these players. And if we do get some of them like the Cameron Archer, the Tyrese Campbell from Stoke City, um, I would love for us to get Johnson from Ajax, the DM role as a backup or a starter above Isaac Hayden, and the list goes on. JFF system is not conducive enough for these talents. So if we don't have a JFF system that can help to manage these players, how the hell are we going to perform well in the World Cup qualifying games, right? So just give me some clarity, Ronnie. Give me some clarity, my general. RR said up like 7. I don't know, say thing large. That's what I say. So big up, my brother. So I'm just taking the comments while going forward. BM, I think the silence is due to poor Gold Cup and all the uncertainty around the team. If Jamaica made it to the finals, social would be on fire. And this is the reason why I said that I have to be here. Because when we're going to be silent in the worst of the worst times, what does that prove? We're giving up. It proves that we are giving up and we cannot afford for the poor in the Gold Cup to be the final destination for the national team. It cannot be. We have to be more conscious of what is happening around us. Remember, in 2020, our own president, Michael Ricketts, he wanted for the platform to be open. He was opening the platform for persons to um to come and tell him what they think is best, because obviously he's not a footballing brain. He's not a footballing brain. And how shocking it is for him to be in charge of the federation so long and don't know anything about football. He's clueless. So tell me now, when we're going to bam rush Coach Steve McLaren, for which I do at times, and say to get rid of him, when he even have a little knowledge about football, why not get rid of Michael Ricketts? That's the question. I think if Coach McLaren was in charge of the football federation, he would do a better job than Michael Ricketts, because he have the experience, he have the knowledge about football. Did you guys look at it like that? But politics to me is shaking up the place like an earthquake. Mm-hmm. It is. So I mean, the social media would be on fire. I mean, a lot of persons will be doing live streams, sharing their thoughts on games, getting more recognitions, and whatever it may be. But come on, people. Come on, people. Come on. Just a second. I'm just reading something from one Uptown IG. He's giving me some updates on something. All right. One Tone IG. Thank you very much for that insight. I'm learning as I go along. I am learning as I go along. You know, it is always good to be open to learning. That was what our our president of the JFF was trying to do. But is it a case that anything has happened though? Did anything happen in that case? Did he really and truly get the assistance from anybody? Because remember, I said it, and thanks to those persons who are joining lately, I won't stress anybody for sending in any super chat or anything like that. Money will come one day. I'm more interested in talking about Jamaica football here for the fans, for the people, because we the people, we need more than just words, right? Was it a case that he allowed for persons to talk to him, right? Yes, I am live, RR. I think you're still here. I'm live right now, but it doesn't look promising for Jamaica to me. I talk about the C license thing. It is brilliant. When I look more into the article, Rudolph Speed is making waves for opening up avenues for coaches, young coaches to come through and get their license. They're working on the B license now. And then these persons, they will have to serve some hours, gain some experience, possibility of getting a job in, let's say in a club, let's say Charlton Athletics again, because it seems as if it is a parent club for Jamaicans to go overseas, right? So, yes, but I mean, I still have to revert back to what I am saying. I have a belief that there is a separation between what I don't really want to say Rudolph Speed alone, but the direction that he's going, it is not the same that I want to see for the Jamaica football national team. Not to say what he's doing is wrong, but we need to hear news on no Jamaica Football Federation in the sense of what we're doing to improve the senior team. There's no way we can play a 4-4-2, let's say as the main line of four or formation for correction for our senior team. And then the youth team is playing 4-2-3-1. People, you guys are seeing what I'm saying, right? Right. Caribbean rivers and seas, such a large name. JFF is waste time. I think you need to use that Caribbean rivers and sea and wash them out, because they are just like the West Indies cricket team, and I won't touch upon the cricket, but it's just a comparison as to how clueless the players are who are in charge are performing. And I think in the Jamaica Football Federation, there are some bright minds in it, but who is overseeing everything is the problem. All right, more comments. So the problem is the coach says he is not about tactics, so Ravel and others won't survive this philosophy. Brother, me not gonna lie, I can absolutely remember this. And when I heard that, I said to myself, it is time for Coach McLaren to go. He is a dumb person. How on earth can it not be about tactics? Tactics and chemistry works hand in hand. If you don't have any tactics, if you do not have any way of playing, style of play, what the F are you doing? You should not be our coach. You should be going aside. He said also that it is all about the players being disciplined and all of those crap. So it's basically hiding himself away from the public with a cheeky talk and making himself a mockery. He's a madman, of course, Caribbean Rivers and Sea. How on earth, as a coach, you're saying that? And it is modern time now, when many persons are seeing you on social media. So JFF is not giving an account of anything, it seems, which is more important to do, and just the same as a coach. So JFF is outdated and we have a dinosaur coach. I'm not the first to say that, and I won't be the last. I won't be the first, and I won't be the last. All right, so Ronnie M90 states Ravel is playing in the third tier of UAE. Right. Daniel Johnson will be in the first tier in Turkey next season, but no talks about him. All right, so you're getting up some updates here, which is good. I mean, to me, the better leagues you play in, the more competitive you will learn to be, You will not accept mediocrity as a footballer or any stage of your life. So Ravel Morrison, he looks like he wants to play and he looks like he don't want to play. He needs to get himself into a club because maybe if he was playing that tier one league like in Turkey, then it would be more so the best chance for him to represent Jamaica, even in the Gold Cup, because he was heavily missed. Do anyone know what is taking place with Lewis Baker? Because I'm telling you, what the hell is happening with this player? I don't even want to talk about Mason Greenwood, even though he's in the thumbnail. But enough with these Mason Greenwood saga. Let's say that who we have right now are the ones who we have to focus on. Yes, we have to develop a system with these players that we currently have and see how well we can get better. Have a system. If we do get into recruiting any players before September, then it would be great. I said before that JFF needs to organize a few games, a few friendlies with not Ravel Morrison, but because our midfield is the main issue right now, with Isaac Hayden in the mix and some of them where he's not in the mix, so that we can understand then that how can we play without an Isaac Hayden. Develop a frigging philosophy, no man, or a style of play. Coach McLaren, you need to go on because you don't know nothing what go on, it seems. Because if you're not developing this, if we do have a slight chance of making it to the World Cup, I am telling you, and I've said it in the past, we will get spanked like the Reggae Girls in 2019. We will get spanked. Because I think we're gonna be placed into a rough group as well. So only just watch it pray. Only just watch it pray. And see if they inside are gonna kill we. Yeah. Them side are gonna murder woman. But how can we dream and believe when nothing is there for us to believe in? Right? So a comment from Ronnie again. I don't think Baker ever got his passport. Silence again. It's all about the silence right now. What the F is happening, man? I don't decide to use an expletive here, so I'm just using the letter. Boy, me fed up and tired. People, in the meantime, please smash a like on the video because I did a video yesterday on the Jamaica Football Federation, talking about should the JFF be shut down if we miss the World Cup, and what's next. I got so far 308 views, but couple amount of hours gone still, but we're growing. So Louis Baker now seems as if he doesn't got his passport or he wasn't getting his passport. But look at the sad thing now. When our players do get their passport, like the Burrells and the Mothersville, did they play in the Gold Cup? Not even a minute. The coach don't know him, do. Him don't know him, do. RR saying here, 12 points will advance. Curacao, Jamaica, 10 points. TNT, 10 points. Brother, I don't even know what to say. The thing is now, we're left to hope. We're left to hope, and hoping alone cannot help us to cope. So I am talking on behalf of the national team. People, please share the video, man. Share it. I would love to see 100 persons watching this right now, because I don't wish to stay long like the last time, doing 2 hours. Don't think I can manage such long term in terms of hours, but it is depressing. Jamaica got grouped at the Gold Cup, right? So the same thing would probably happen at the World Cup. Probably it's a keyword there. If we make it, that is if we make it to the World Cup, because I am going to be on the fence to say I am not sure if we're going to make it, but I'm not going to say we're going to make it, right? So Elohim son remedial, to me, the frenzy should draw him up that line of tactics. I think you're relating to Coach McLaren, right? Him man saying no tactics, it seems. He never said he doesn't have any tactics, right? But he doesn't seem to be interested in talking about tactics because he don't know what to say about tactics. Even the fan base is more knowledgeable about Coach McLaren and his selection. It would be better we offer football scholarships to Spanish or Brazil to get them licensed. If I'm reading what you're saying correctly. As I've said before, I think Rudolph Speed is trying to get persons on board to become more educated. But the timing of this isn't the best thing. The best timing would have been Jamaica is working on getting say for example Tyrese Campbell or Cameron Archer before World Cup qualifiers in September. And boom, we get him in August. That would be a blessing under the skies, But the coach is a waste, time up, as what Caribbean Rivers NC would say. I mean, I'm still talking about the transfer updates, but we're talking about a lot of things here because I am worried about Jamaica football. I am not dying over Jamaica football, but I am concerned, very much concerned about our progress in the people. I am very much concerned. And people, we are depending on individuals, not team chemistry. You hit the nail right on the head there, RR. No team chemistry. And one man doesn't play football. Isn't it obvious that football is not played by just one person? Isn't it obvious? Boy. So I said earlier that there are a few persons who did get a chance to move to championship teams. And if you know of any other names, you can drop it in the comment section. I hope that you guys are subscribing though, because I'm not here just to talk on Jamaica football. I'm here to seek assistance from you as well, to let my channel be a bit more visual to the fan base. So I am ahead. I am people, I am currently at the World Cup. I am currently at the World Cup with no people, and hear this joke. I have 2,000, not so much now. I have 2,026 subscribers. People who hear me, I say, that's a joke, I am at the World Cup right now. I have 2,026 subscribers. So I know World Cup feel like already. So if you don't want to go World Cup, join me right now. Join me right now, and thanks for the subscription to all of those persons. So should the president do a press conference to reassure the fans? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can anyone even state if President Michael Ricketts have conducted a press conference or some form of media communication to talk to the fans about our situation as a national team? Everybody hide, Every single soul I hide. Yeah, man, nobody not really talk to the fans, the man, and tell you, say, yo, this is what is happening. This is what we're thinking about. This is the goal. No, them are run, them are hide like cowards. And I think if Jamaica was run like Pakistan and those places, Afghanistan, them would have run for their life, So because they're not accounted for, and I'm not a violent person, but because there's no one threatening them, they just sit there on their ass, not doing shit. And by the way, yeah, they're not nothing. That is the thing, It is easy for a person to think negative. So if I'm thinking negative now, JFF, it is because of you guys. Uno now do nothing. Uno now do nothing. Buy the lotto. Leadership, backbone soft. Like when you're eating chicken and that soft part of the meat, like a little gristle, them call it the bone part. That is JFF. The gristle. Yes, man, the gristle. Nothing. No substance. What you call the creatures without backbone? No worm? A most worm. And if you're a worm, you will be snatched up by birds. We're not talking about snake. Because snake a thick piece of muscle. But worm, look around them running alcohol them. Birds will pick up Jamaica and just fling them away, man. What clarity do you need? Good question. We need to know what is happening with the progress of the national team after we have evicted the Gold Cup. We also need to know what is happening with the players who we are looking to get before World Cup qualifiers. We also need to know, are we going to have any camps or training sessions with our players before World Cup qualifiers in September? These questions are good questions to ask, don't you think, Hal? Don't you think? These are the clarity that we need. Why is it that we're having silence? when we need to have answers. The fan base are left aside, and every time we're left like this, I bet that if Jamaica did play good in a Gold Cup, well, we're under the finals right now because today's the final, I think, against USA and Mexico. Again, a lot of persons would be believing, right? Them are hiding a hole. we need to dash some water in the pan them, man. They know like when crab run going a hole, when they see sticker come, JFF. Speed says not to panic. I him to tell himself that. Man, the JFF, not to panic. They need to give us more. We want for them to work well, but a years of this. The last World Cup in 2022, we should have made it. Yeah, man. I wanna make it. We flop. Man. Jamaica's not even in the top 4 best team in CONCACAF right now. Shame. The Gold Cup was for us to grab with the players on paper. And that is why football is not played on paper. Right? We must qualify for the World Cup, or Jamaica must. We must qualify for the World Cup, or Jamaica must stop play football. I think that is what you're saying, Mr. Sang. We need a new coach, Richard Green. Remember, Coach McLaren not gonna win now. You never heard on TVJ when Oral Tracer said that Coach McLaren is going nowhere. Yeah, man, we know some waste, man. Caribbean Rivers and Sea. I tell you already, use the Rivers and Sea to wash out the Jamaica Football Federation and get the right persons in before such and such time. Before September, that is, yes. Like up the chat, people. I will let this remain. Yeah, man, people, come on, man. Like up the chat, man. I am here doing the video because I am a voice for the people. But only some persons are basically assisting, but 28 persons on the live, it is not bad. But, I was talking about the transfers. I don't really want to talk much about that because the league has not started as yet anywhere. It is just a Club World Cup which we're seeing right now. So we want to talk about what is happening. If players were transferred, yes, that's good, but we're more focusing on September, man. Me, personally, I focus on September. If we want to talk about transfer, I would have tried it, but no, I don't want to talk about transfer as the main thing. Even though I touch upon it a bit. Right? Which is better? To panic or to go football hell? I don't understand that. Me sure no panic is not the best thing. But maybe football is even worse than panic. Boy. Speed say we have a plan B and C if we lose the first game. We not for lose no match. That is dumb thinking. That is dumb talking. That is rubbish from Mr. Speed. How the hell should we think about having a plan B or C if we lose the first game? So basically, you want we lose, Mr. Speed, do you want for us to lose the first game in the qualifying stage? That is rubbish talking you're making there. Rubbish if you say that for real. Right now, me all tired. I feel like y'all in the stream. Honestly, what RR said, Mr. Speed said, people, he said he have a plan B or C if we lose the first game. And you are coaching Cavaliers? So you coach Cavalier, and I'm sure that is not what you tell your players. It seems as if Mr. Speed has nothing to do with JFF, really, It's like he's a separate entity, but he's just there doing what he can do to assist them upstairs as a technical person. But he plays a big part in recruiting the coach because he's the one who interviewed them and recommended to the JFF president and the board and the committee for them to decide and finalize. So you have a lot to do with this in the Mr. Speed. But I don't wish for you to say this again, Have a plan BRC if we lose the first game. Move faster with that. Who is the plan BRC? We don't even want to know. Who does want to know? He should have said then, we're aiming to win all our games, but there are plans if we fall in a few or in one. But you have to be positive because you have the players to win the games, and when you come and talk those shit, that is not good. And I respect people, but that is absolutely shit, if that is what Mr. Speed said again. If that is what he said. So I'm not behaving arrogant to say that I heard him say it, but others may have. So I'm working from what persons are saying. Plan B equals speed. Well, I prefer plan C. We don't want him in charge in. Plan C. One done. Big. Big up yourself, Sherman Scott. People not joke with the thing now, no. Plan C, top or Maran Garden. Maran Garden not good enough. Because as an assistant coach, remember on Instagram, Bobby talk about him, you know. I mean, Maran Garden is one of the best person to say has achieved something as a coach in Jamaica. And people, let's not put that aside. He has done very well for himself personally because many of us are not even close to having a license in football or to be on Marin Garden's level. But Marin Garden are good enough for the national team, man. That is just the truth. One Dan Clarendon, big up yourself. Like up the live stream. Yes, people, do smash a like on the stream, people. Remember the aim is to get to 3,000 subscribers. You know, as I've said before, I'm in the World Cup already now because I have 2026 subscribers. Me have people. Tell you, I'm telling you guys. Yeah, man. So like up the live, people. Like up the live. Plan B, that is speed, must be fired. Get rid of him, yes. But how can we think about getting rid of Mr. Speed and not to get rid of Michael Ricketts? It's what I talk about. The corruption, the politics behind everything. How can we get rid of Mr. Speed when I think he's even doing more than Mr. Ricketts? He may not be the best person based on what persons would have heard or seen, but he has proven himself as a coach to win titles for Cavaliers. Right? But he should not be in charge of Jamaica football, though. Because you would here comes to see Mr. Butler again attacking him. But 876 Jamrock says that I am very disappointed with the JFF and the coach. Who wouldn't be? Myself is, others are. Alright, so I am going to wrap up very shortly now, people. I don't wish to go beyond 1 hour. So, the dangerous silence of the JFF. The place is hot as well, and I don't wish to suffer from a heat stroke. Right? I want to see Jamaica qualify for the World Cup. So the silence, they are very silent, right? And I would love to see Fatal Flair song "Believe" be that song that will be played when Jamaica if Jamaica qualify for the World Cup. We're not gonna work with no fast up, but that song by Fatal Flair is a top song. "Believe." But I did a small piece to say, oh, me if you believe, right? Not to say I'm an artist, but I did a little counter on one of my videos intro. Because we're not seeing a team. We're not seeing a team, right? The plan B would be the next man in line, which would be the top coach in the island. Who is that? No, Mr. Rudolph Speed. Or somebody else. I mean, Rudolph Speed cannot recruit himself. So he will go for somebody who we think is best, and that is garbage again. Jamaican coaches, I won't say they're not good enough, but when Jamaica go to play in other competitions like under 20s and whatever it may be, do we win any competitions? We only can beat teams in the Caribbean, you know. We not say that for years. So we can't play football in. So how can we recruit somebody from Jamaica to train the senior team with the likes of the players that we have? Come on, these people are not thinking, and I'm not talking about my people here in the channel comment section. I'm talking about those who are in charge of Jamaica football. I am depressed, people. You know, I did the video last night, and I decided to come on board again to do another video, a live stream for the fans, because I show care. I do care for Jamaica football. But you know what, people? I'm going to end the live within a few minutes from now, because on now like up the live, people. On now subscribe, you know. Rudolph Fasting, no. Lee Young, he's not the man, you know. Rudolph Fasting is not a top man. He was our best DM, I would think, over the years. He was one of my favorite players, but my favorite was Luton Shelton, who passed away. But Rudolph Austin could somewhat impact the players, because he have that experience playing in the higher leagues, right? So yeah, but not to say he's a coach. I don't think he is even above um the past player from stroke that we have as a Jamaican. I think he's coaching some youth players right now. I am Ricardo Fuller. I don't think Austin is above Ricardo Fuller in terms of being a coach. So how the hell should Rudolph Austin become a coach for the national team? He can be a voice. And I think if these persons may have, like, say, a YouTube channel before or no, could be a voice for the people and burn out the JFF, pressuring them like how we're doing here. But everyone remains to be silent. JFL Hellfire. Oh, now me I understand. Hellfire worse then. um we need to get rid of Speed out of the football program. All right. If the Reggae Boyz do not make it to the World Cup, I don't think Jamaica would forgive the JFF. Hey, me talk already now. If Jamaica they run like Pakistan, they in a trouble. You know, remember when Pakistan and India rivalry had? Jamaica is a violent place already, people. Jamaica is a violent place already. We love war, we love crime. JFF, wanna be careful. Me even realize or saw in the past where people shoot or fire shots at nationwide. So nobody make that happen between you and the people in the JFF. You not thinking, you not thinking. Alright. Remember me say all ago, remember nationwide was shoot at by people, and Cliff used to have to be hiding. So you go around with Jamaican fans. You don't want no unity, you don't want no peace, you don't want a reduction in the crime rate. Look so. The persons in charge of the sports and culture in Jamaica, what are you guys doing about Jamaica qualification to the World Cup? You guys are bigger heads than me now. You know the ins and outs of what is taking place, more educated, and I am the one who is talking the sensible thing right now. Because we all have common sense. We do, and we all have common sense. No joke. Caribbean Rivers and Sea. Yeah, because Jamaican people dark, Jamaican people are very dark. And as how humble as how some of us are, we're still dark. We not take disrespect, we not keep up foolishness. So JFF, if we don't want peace for rain, we not try not make no foolishness. Go on and we miss World Cup, You hear me I try defend, You hear me I try one, You hear me I try governor ways as to how you guys can make things better. But you don't want to help. You don't want people shoot at you as well, it seems. So Rudolph Austin is the head coach of Portmore United and Speed love him. Head coach of Portmore United doesn't mean he's higher than Ricardo Fuller, right? Where's Portmore United in the Premier League? Where did they finish last term? They did not win the league. They did not play in the finals. So it shows that Rudolph Austin is progressing, but he's not the man for the job. All right? I rate him, I rate him. Rudolph Austin is one of my favorite players, as I've said before, but so Richard Crawford said, Blogger, you obviously is not brought out like many others. I don't really know what you mean, but maybe in a good sense. I am not like other persons, and I am not a violent person, so I wish for everything to run smoothly. Let it be internal problem that will not disrupt our progress. JFF, come on, man. Come on, JFF, man. Come on, man. What wanna do, man? What wanna do? What wanna do for help as Jamaican fans? Oh no, I almost say for now when the World Cup. That would even be a big ambition. If our aim was to win the World Cup, then we would have at least some players in already. The Tyrese Campbells, the Mason Greenwood, but we don't do nothing to convince the players them. People are doing work behind the scenes, but we don't do nothing for bringing the players them. We don't have any ambition, man. We lose the World Cup at group stage. Eh? And nothing come out. I don't know. Why may I tell you? May I tell you, man? I think in order to get a right coach, they need to first identify the style of play and they want the team to play, and then get the coach who is exactly. Let me go back to what I was saying earlier on. Remember, the coaching license thing now is for If you get a C license, that means you're going to look on the grassroots areas, maybe in primary schools and so. These coaches will learn. I don't know who they're going to learn from, but it is good for them personally. But if the youth level have a philosophy, and the youth, let's say Jamaica youth team have a way of playing. Let's say they play 4-2-3-1, and the senior team is playing 4-4-2. What the hell is that? Did you know that one of the technical, or let's say one of the not one of the owners, but one of those persons who work along with Ineos is saying that Ruben Amorim style of play, he doesn't want for the academy to play that. So Amorim is playing a back three. He doesn't want for the youths to play that. Him to get fired too, you know. So these are the corruptions in the football game. People, I don't sit and read and watch much things like people. And just imagine if I was doing that, I would have been so much experience in terms of having more knowledge, and it is going to come. It is going to come. Because we can't play with the football like that. I love football, and if Carnival League wasn't going to be played today, I would be at the ball ground 30 minutes from now, trying to develop my skills, trying to score a few goals, trying to build a partnership with my friends, trying to be real with them, let them improve and I improve. Iron, what do you say? Iron sharpen iron, something like that. JFF, who are sharpening each other in the federation? Nobody not sharpen nobody. Everybody just saying a look. Richard, big up yourself. You said you are a top blogger. Keep the fire burning. Premier 7 is all about being a voice for the people, you know. And they have something coming out soon for you people as well, whereas you guys can become more engaged with the channel. Because I'm a no-nonsense person when it comes on to my football. I was born for sports. I did well in school, you know. I did well in school, you know, from basic school to high school, no, basic school to primary school, or all age, to high school, to sixth form, to university. I have my degree, but my degree doesn't speak sports. It speaks something different. And I'm not working with my degree. I am working elsewhere. But yet still, I'm still doing what I have to do when I'm working. So JFF, you guys are in that seat, that nice seat, and on those nyam out all of the food, nyam all of the money, and waste all our time. Uno come out, man. Uno come out. Well, I'm getting some updates. 40 persons watching. Like up the live. Yeah, man. I'm gonna like up the live, man. And if persons can send a few super chats, man, do that now, man. Do that. Support Premier 7 as well. I won't be the one to say YouTube is not paying my bills, because at the end of the day, YouTube can pay some bills, right? But one love to everybody. One love to everybody. I think I'm a bit tired right now, but I will stay a little bit. What field do I study? I don't wish to share that on here, people. No. I am like Renita Adams. I keep certain things private. But I went to UA for at least as an int. Yes. Yes. I don't really want to talk about my study at university, but I got UA. I went to UA for 3 years. I got my degree, but I don't really want to talk about my study at UA. But you know what? Let me say it. I studied banking and finance and economics. We should not work with the JFF, though. They would not get some of the money with them have. But I am not corrupt, so maybe they wouldn't want me to work with them. To be honest, people, I was at a point in time when I wanted to work for Sportsmax. I applied for them and I was never called. My application wasn't looked at, it seems. No one looked at it, it seems, and I wasn't even phoned. I was even talking to somebody outside of Sportsmax, I think, or with Sportsmax, not sure, who I think wanted me to work with the papers, but to go out there and take pictures and send to them. I don't depend on that. YouTube is my thing. The people are my people. I am their people. I believe in fairness, not equality, fairness. And once it is the truth, I am going to work with it. Because when I'm at work working, I am wrong in certain cases, but I learn and I help to get better. But you have to have persons around you who can help you to get better. Iron sharpen iron, and that is what JFF doesn't have. More fire. I guess we need to put capital in the JFF maybe and burn on everything over there. Football engineer. I love football, but I think one of my friends in one of the groups stated that, I was looking on some freestyle and I was saying, I'm going to send something in that group. When I say, when I was a cricketer play, man, I used to play for Jamaica under 15 in 2012. And let me talk about that for just a little bit of time. We weren't prepared. We weren't prepared. We weren't in the best of shape. So we finished 5 out of 6, almost last. Because the thing is, I wasn't selected for the team. The players who were selected were 14 or close to 14 within the time. But guess what happened? Those players were not the rightful players to be selected, even though they were the best set. Age restrictions. And Jeff, if you have to look on the simplest thing that you're doing wrong. Because in that time, if the under 15 persons at Sabina Park organized the camp properly, I would have been there playing or training in, let's say, a 1-month camp like what Barbados did and they won the tournament, and Jamaica would have retained their title. Yeah, so I said I played for Jamaica at the under 15 level in cricket, 2012, and I was in that spot to finish 5th out of 6 when the previous teams they won. So when we came to Norman Manley Airport and they said to me if I want to speak, I said no. I was disappointed, and that is what JFF wants for us to be. Disappointed. Carrying Rivers and CC, I'm a bright boy. All the way bright here, so man. Because once you exercise common sense and you're willing to learn and listen, you will grow, you will develop, right? Do you trade? We want to trade degree? Trade. That's a long time thing. When I bought a system, I thought, brother. I bought a system, I thought, man. But what you want to trade? Which club you support? Trade with some of your football players now, because I'm on you support. Alright, so JFF, I move comfortable like everything alright. Everything alright. The thing is, they really and truly knows that all is not well, but show they're not being held accountable. Is it a separate entity? The big question now is the Jamaica Football Federation a separate entity from the Ministry of Sports? Only asked a question there yet? The Ministry of Sports and Culture, is it a big entity separated from the JFF? Remember, J3, I think they do with athletics in Jamaica. It has to be points in time when the sports minister is with them discussing this and that. Because many times when Usain Bolt was our main guy, which I think is my favorite athlete in Jamaica history, many times we see our sports culture minister taking pictures with him and those things. So, what go on? So what? One of the comments I received today on one of my videos, somebody stated that JFF is a monopoly. I did econ, so I understand what monopoly means. One man show, one man business, powerful, untouchable. JFF is a monopoly, and that is what is destroying Jamaica football. JFF has been around from about 1962, when we were independent, But I think they were in existence before that time. But something happened, and they become maybe more aligned with CONCACAF or whatever in 1962. So the more I did videos here, the more I get to realize certain things. And I'm glad that I am in a space where I can learn from people, because I believe in knowledge, because knowledge proves a lot. But people, I think the time is up now, right? So let me conclude. I talk about the news on the JFF, right? The C license issued, the squad updates, and the danger of being silent. People think I have said enough. I have did a video last night, and I've done a live stream today. I mean, it's a lot on my hands as a YouTuber. Also, I work, but the support is important. So, people, remember the road is to 3,000 subscribers. As I've said before, I won't say this it is not what pay the bills, but it can pay the bills. But it is more for me to not talk about the money, but to talk about Jamaica football, because it feels good if Jamaica makes it to the World Cup, because it would be better for all of us, the YouTubers, the fans. We will get more recognition. Just imagine if I'm doing a video now with Jamaica playing in the World Cup against, say, even a Brazil. No, sir. A Belgium. You know? A Belgium. I would have, let's say, 100,000. Not 100,000. I would be saying then I would have, let's say, 100 persons watching the stream, because we would become more globally recognized. But enough being said, people. The topic to wrap things up was, what is Jamaica plan for World Cup 25? It's World Cup qualifiers 2025. Round three. It is now July now, people. Still no clarity. It's time for me to go though. I am tired, and I think I'm going to take a break until then. As RR said, football engineer. I think I need to pursue that and get my license and to coach overseas, or to play some football for myself and build my name and get some money, more than what I'm getting. All right. So yes, people, you all take care. Goodbye until we meet again.